Good morning, world people. Good morning, viewers around the globe. You are welcome to our Friday program, News Echoes World Affairs. Today, the Friday, the 8th of March, 2024, International Women's Day also, and a day when hopefully we'll be seeing the fight between two African giants in the boxing match in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So this is a day full of events, beautiful things happening, and we are here to give our news updates like we do. I'm here with my colleagues, my brothers and friends. Far away, Toronto, Canada, is Sir George Chukwu. Sir George, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mike Godwin, and good morning, viewers from around the world. We want to welcome you to our show today. It's going to be a great one.
It's going to be a great one. And it's not great if we don't have our man from Nigeria. Right there in Lagos, Nigeria is Olayinka Raji. Welcome, Raji.
Yes, sir. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, viewers all over the country.
Good morning, Raji.
Good morning, Raji. Welcome.
Raji is there. Raji
good morning,
gentlemen. Let's go straight to it. Today is packed full of a lot of things. First of all, let's start with a Nigerian lawyer that slummed and died in the UK. A 37-year-old woman that works as a caregiver in the United Kingdom slummed on Thursday. That was in February, but she died a few days later. That's a sad news coming from the UK on one of us. Nigerians in the diaspora are known to be very hardworking. She's said to be a lawyer that turned out to also become a caregiver. So Chidinma Susan, also known as Susie, collapsed on her duty while in the streets of a town called Stotford. She and her husband just came from Nigeria to the UK to work, and they said they were on sponsorship visa, trying to live their life, but now she's dead. Gentlemen, I know what this isn't. It's in our news update for today, but I think it's worthy we talk about it. Now, one thing is a lot of Nigerians back home don't know that reality unfolds when you come abroad. A lot of things we think is just good life, when you come over, you realize it's not so. The weather challenges you, the environment challenges you, the system challenges you. George, how will you talk about this? What's this?
Well, it's a different environment when you leave your main domain, your country, to go to another country of a different constitution, different weather conditions and everything else. Recently a couple of Nigerians, 2 or 3 of them, died here because of cold weather.
Okay.
Because of unfavorable situation that they're not used to. And we will extend our sincere condolences to the family of Chidinma. It is very, very sad. Yeah, we hope that the husband will be able to. I don't know if they have any children or not.
Yes, they do.
But
2 children.
Okay. Hopefully the government will be able to help these people out since they are newcomers. So yeah. But
Raji,
we extend our condolences to them.
We extend our condolences to them. Raji, there's this, like we discussed last time, there's this high hope and high expectations on Nigerians back home. And everybody, the terminology, Japa, you have been abroad, Raji, on several times. Now, how does it feel like coming out from that country, coming to Europe, America, somewhere outside the world, and you're faced with the reality, challenges, and all of a sudden the jackpot thing, that dream just fades away. Raji. Can you hear me, Raji?
Yes, it's rather unfortunate, and my condolences to the family of Chidima and her husband. I saw a video a couple of days ago about the number of people who jackpot to Canada, to the UK, and other places who have been facing certain serious
Oh yeah, I think
a lot of people, a lot of them collapsing. You know,
mm,
for a 37-year-old lawyer, she probably never did any hard job, any physical thing. Now
trainers
to
job.
come from a lawyer to be a caregiver, it's a disruptive
Oh, sorry, Raji. George, we're losing Raji. But George, let's go to something again, a tragic one again from your end.
Mhm,
Terrible tragedy, they called it. Canada was rocked by mass killing of a Sri Lankan family.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
yes, George, what's that? They said the victim of the killing, the victims include four children, two adults, and
Yeah,
now 18-year-old acquaintance has been arrested. What's the story, George?
yeah, it's a very tragic story. A young man that just came from Sri Lanka, a student actually, uh, in Ottawa. A
Mhm.
family of six were recently killed by this young man. The victims include a mother, four children, and a 40-year-old acquaintance. While the children, the father, the way they were in the house, the father of the house was injured and he's still in the hospital. The
Mm,
suspect is a 19-year-old man who was living in the home. And at least I believe that he must have been being helped by this family when this thing happened. And he's been charged with 6 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder. And, so I don't know what prompted the whole entire thing, but it must have been a domestic squabble or situation that might have happened. Some of these people that come to Canada fresh, there's a mentality that they come with. They don't
mhm.
understand the way things work in a different country. So it takes them time to get used to the system and the way things work. So who knows what must have prompted a 19-year-old young man, a student for that matter, to kill, including four children. Can you just
Mm,
imagine how sad this situation is? So we just extend our condolences also to the uh, the man that is survived. I've lost
yes.
his wife and four children and a
Yeah.
friend. It is such a sad situation. You know.
Wow. Such a sad situation. That was like what Raji was saying earlier. Raji, I hope you can hear us now. We talk
Yeah, I can
about
hear you clearly now.
people
Yes.
coming from other parts of the world to this western part of the world and
Yes.
getting caught up with the
Yeah.
system. It's totally different from where they're coming from. You're seeing transportation in a different way. You're
Yes.
seeing people going to work in a different way. These are like challenges to a newcomer. And sometimes, yes, they vent their anger. They take it on people. They get angry like the world is on them. Raji, did you hear the Canada thing? The Canada story?
Yes. Yes. And the guy came from a tropical area, tropical
Mhm.
climate, to a very, very cold environment.
Mm, cool
I think
environment.
I think there's a lot of things that happen when a person come through that transition,
Okay.
especially knowing that uh, about 80% of the brain is actually liquid water, and the
Mhm.
effect of cold on the mind is something else.
Yes.
Something else. A person can easily go crazy if for instance he walks barefoot inside the house where it is very, very cold. You'll be surprised what could happen to a person's brain when suddenly the blood that's supposed to go back from your foot, from the under your feet back to the heart, suddenly ceases. it's a serious health issue, which could cause serious mental destabilization. You know.
Hmm. And one man that understands that very well is Sir George. Sir George is
You
in
know,
that very cold,
Yes.
no,
cold.
it's not it's I think it's individualistic, you know.
Yeah.
The thing about
Mm,
this situation is that they come with a totally different mentality altogether. Possibly you're telling them not to
mm,
walk in the house with their shoes on. They take an offense to that because mostly here, you know, when it is cold and when it is when the weather is so bad and they put salt outside and you come into the house, you know, with your shoes and the salted shoes. It can destroy the carpet, it can destroy the floor. So there are so many different things that people from abroad, when they come from a tropical places, when they come to, you know, places like Canada, you know, you're telling them, me myself, you know, I mean, I grew up in the US, but when I came to Canada myself, you know, the first incident was I went to a person's house. I've never been told to take off my shoes before. So I casually just walked in, and the man was looking at me like he looked me. I thought that why is this man sizing me up? Eh? What's going on? You know, until I discovered, you know. So my friend that I came with came and told me, "Oh, you have to take off your shoes." So my first question was, "Are they Muslims?" No, it's like, no, 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 no. That's how it is here. So there are so many different things that people encounter, and when they come, when you tell them, they might take an offense to it. And this young man, we don't know his mental condition. We don't know what actually has happened to him. Whether he came, you know, he was
mm,
expecting something different until you know, he came here, and then possibly took an offense to whatever the condition within the home might have been. You know, it could be an individual because you know, thousands of people come to Canada from India, from Sri Lanka, from, you know, different parts of the world, and they survive it. They don't go
yes.
killing
Mm,
people. So it might be a mental condition. It might be, you know, psychological issues that are, you know, like Raji was describing, could have been the
Hmm.
issue there. We don't know
We
until
don't
mm,
know.
we actually ascertain after
Yes,
mm,
yes,
investigation what
yes.
actually took place.
Took place. The motive for the killing has not been made clear, although police said
mm,
the 19-year-old has been arrested. Fibro Zois
The
is
Zoe is,
there from
yeah,
Sri Lanka, and he's been charged with 6 counts of first-degree murder and one count of attempted murder. Anyway, your prime minister have said it's a terrible violence. It's a shock to the country, and we hope this doesn't repeat. George, it looks as if that's the same thing that used to happen in America has come to Canada. I mean, you have these murder cases increasing now. Last year, there were terrible numbers of murder in Canada. Is it that
yeah.
people are not having access to guns like in America?
That is exactly what is really happening. I don't think in this particular situation that it was a gun issue. I don't think
Mm,
he used a gun. He may, you know, maybe it was a knife that he used. But there has been an increase in, you know, gun, you know, a lot of homicide and suicides and killing people with guns, and most of these guns are, you know, coming from the US because
mm,
we're almost like UK when it comes to gun, you know, here. But you know, recently in the past decade, the past 10 years, when I first moved here, you hardly hear about people, you know, being killed with guns. It's always like, you know, some stabbing took place or whatever the case, or other things. But right now, it's all shooting all over the place. So
mm.
it's the influence of the US that is really taking place. And it's been alleged that most of the guns that are coming in through some of these truckers. You know, most of them are from, you know, that is Eastern Asian area, like
Yeah.
India and the rest of them, because a lot of them are truckers. That's what has been alleged. I'm not saying this is what it is, but that's the allegation. You know, so far during some investigations.
Thank you, George. Thank you, Raji. Viewers, you are hearing it live. I mean, George is there.
yes.
George is not making up his own story. He's there on ground, so he's telling us as it is. You are tuned into News Echoes World Affairs. Beautiful Friday International Women's Day. Guys, we're going to talk about the women. We'll give some minutes to our female gender. But let's come to something else also, talking about guns. Before then, We welcome Dr. Godwin Ibe from Moscow, Russia. Godwin, how are you this morning?
Oh, I'm good. Excited. It's in Women's Day, in quotes,
Yes.
and then we have also a lot of important topics to talk about.
Dr. Ibe, I recognize that your fur is growing in your hair. Is it cold in Russia? Are you trying to keep keep your head warm? Because I can see my own head there is no fur there.
Ah,
No, yeah, it's
gentlemen,
useful. Actually, it's actually very useful. There you go.
yes, yeah, he needs the four, he needs the head.
Mm, mm, mm,
Guys, let's come to
mm,
something we didn't discuss last week, and it's growing, it's spiraling, it's blowing up more. Haiti is Haiti gang violence is it's becoming something else. Well-armed gang launched coordinated attack last week, targeting key infrastructure facilities like the airport, police station, breaking up prisons, and demanding that the current president, resigns. So, gentlemen, I don't know who's following this Haiti thing. There's this guy there in Haiti. They call him Barbecue, Jimmy Barbecue. He's an influential gang leader in Haiti. He has warned the government of sparking up civil war if Henry, the prime minister, doesn't resign. He said there'll be bloodshed. And the guy is also favored among the people. Citizens like him because what he does is take from the government storage, feed people,
Robin Hood.
that kind of Robin Hood kind of thing.
Robin
But
Hood. Mm.
Robin Hood, sorry. But I mean, this is becoming a lawless country. Nobody will want to associate with a country that is run by miscreants and jailbreakers.
Mm.
Let's start with Godwin. Godwin, Haiti, what are you seeing from Russia?
Well, I wish them well. It's unfortunate to see these violence and criminal activity. It's traced to a lot of things. A lot of things cause this kind of reaction. First of all, them is when people feel like they have been denied, their voices have not been heard, especially when it comes to election, deciding who their leader is, and some other matters that may be of direct socioeconomic significance to their daily lives. In this particular case, it seems to be connected with both elections and economic policy. Obviously, the neighbors are not left out in terms of their influence and how much pressure or support they give the current leader that doesn't seem to have the support of the people. But I may be wrong, but at least it doesn't seem to be that way from the outside. So I think these people should be listened to. They should be given jobs, and if they have something meaningful doing, they wouldn't be stealing from government storage or planning us on their next criminal activity. So of course, my heart goes out to them. I hope they solve their problems.
We hope they solve the problem. George, 10 police station has been destroyed, and an estimated 15,000 people have said to have fled some very strong heated part of Port Springs. The United Nations Security Council met on Wednesday to discuss this whole issue. And take note that the Prime Minister is still outside. He can't come in because the airport is being barricaded by these gangsters. George, how does this look? Haiti.
It looks very, very bad. One of my correspondents is a lady from Haiti. Asked if we could do an interview with her to discuss the issue because it's a dire issue. She's here with us in Canada and said that more than 19,000 has been killed since the start of all these, including the killing of their prime minister, which the wife was also implicated. The wife of the late prime minister was implicated recently by a judge that she was part of the plan, that the husband was killed because she wanted to step up to the plate. So many things are happening in that place. Barbecue is barbecuing a lot of people and barbecuing a lot of police stations and burning them down simply because of the economic condition of the whole country. And And they believe their problem is that they feel like most of their leaders are being installed by foreign powers, and they're being installed simply because they feel they're feeling like these are people that are being brought forced on them per se, to take over the government, to favor the foreign countries, the superpower or whatever, whoever they feel is the individual countries that are forcing them to take somebody that they don't want to be their leader. But the major problem in that country is the economic condition. And it's been like this for, it was, I think, statistically, it was said that they're the poorest country in the whole world, a while ago. So that is what it is. So viewers, you can look forward to an interview with somebody who is well knowledgeable about that country and that fled the country simply because of the political issues. We're going to be bringing that interview to you, but we hope that things will quell down, and that. But my issue is, you see all these people barbecue now. If you bring barbecue to become the president of or prime minister of Haiti, whether he will just go there and hijack the place and say he doesn't want to step down anymore when he takes the power. So that's the only problem. And I just hope that when things turn around, that whoever the leader is, that democracy will be the order of the day in Haiti. But it's been a terrible state of affairs in that place for the past few years.
Oh, thank you, George. George, good one, good one. It's been a terrible state of affairs in that place. And remember, take note that they are recovering from the 2010 earthquake.
Earthquake, yes.
Yes, and since then things has not been stable. But coupled with all this gang violence and all this killing, assassinating the former prime minister, and yes, George, you're right. He's been indicted that said that the wife is also an accomplice in that assassination. So we're still monitoring Haiti. This morning, what I'm trying to look is a news from there again, an update. The prime minister is still not in the country. He can't come in because barbecue says he shouldn't come in. So barbecue has more or less become the prime minister. Godwin, you said it earlier. So when people's interests are not met, they want to rebel. So what's the interest? What's the interest of the Haitian people? Godwin.
Well, they are not seeing progress in their standard of living, and they believe that the prime minister doesn't represent the interests of the people. It's just as simple as that. But it's the hypocrisy of their neighbors. So do I say the US that supports him? And he's in what, Puerto Rico or something. Where is he now?
Yeah, he's in Puerto Rico actually. I couldn't come in. And he attempted to arrive in Dominican Republic, and they turned his plane back.
Coming from
they did not get the plans, the flight authorization to land this plane there and stuff like that. Which is
due to security risk. You see, the the US have not condemned him or anything. They have rather, in fact, when a news report came out that the US could have told him to resign, the ambassador quickly came out and denied it and said, "We said no such thing. We only said that he should enact policies that will allow for future election or something like that, but not like resigning or So I mean, the country, its country is poor. It's close to rich countries like the United States, Canada. It goes to show that it's not about being close to a rich country or having open borders or joining NATO or EU like Ukraine wants to do that offers prosperity. There are so many other factors at play, such as the will of the people, the leverage the country has, the economic capacity. Because in the world, there's demand and supply. You use your competitive advantage to secure what you need and what you want. And this is just a grim example of how, though they are very close to the United States, they remain one of the poorest countries, and it's really sad.
It's really sad. A lot of things, a lot of beautiful literature things have been attributed to Haiti. Haiti is known for its art, its cuisine, literature, and like Jamaica did, they could leverage on that. I mean, Jamaica became came to the global stage with music, with their food, their cuisine, and all those things. You know, and Haiti has a lot of it. In fact, there are so many folk tales, folk stories that traces its roots to Haiti, and I think they could have leveraged on those things and make big money out of it. So it's
But
not,
it's still one of the poorest countries in the world.
yes, because things are not structured well.
I
Anyway,
think
George, we're
it's
waiting for you.
mismanagement of resources.
Mhm.
And when if you go to Haiti, there's this little squabble that happens with the Dominican Republic and Haiti, light-skinned people and dark-skinned people, and it's happening mainly in Haiti itself, whereby there's just like two different groups of people, one favoring the other against the other, all those type of little things. But the bottom line is that they can survive, but it's mismanagement of resources where a few people are hijacking the whole entire system. I can compare what is happening to Haiti. Haiti has been independent since 1804. Can you imagine that? And they were really flourishing at a point, a great country that everybody wanted to go to, until things just turned left, and then things started getting destroyed. So the point is that they really need a complete overhaul. Just like our own country. Yes, our country, Nigeria. We need a complete overhaul. And that's the resulting consequence of what is happening in Haiti. It could be the problem in Nigeria if care is not taken. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and pray that our country will be an example to these sister countries like Haiti, that things can change and become positive.
Nice. Thank you, George. George, we'll be waiting for the interview. SSM is ready to follow up on all news and global updates. So, viewers, you're hearing it. Haiti, gang violence is becoming something else. The country is in right about now. Haiti is what you could call a banana republic, as they say. Everything is in shambles, and even the president can't come into his country. Imagine a country where the president can't come in. Raji, we missed you.
Yes,
What do you
sir.
have on Haiti?
Yes.
Yes, you're welcome, sir. Go ahead.
I won't want to blame, or rather, I'll put the blame at the doorstep of America, the U.S. The U.S. murderousness in Haiti is what is causing the problem up to today. Propping up dictators, uh, toppling popular presidents of Haiti. When the last earthquake happened in Haiti, there were millions of dollars donated for relief. I can assure you that less than a quarter of that money got into Haiti. I think we should ask Bill Clinton what happened to all the monies. The Haiti situation is quite. When you look at the history of Haiti, Haiti was the first black slave colony that gained independence.
Yes.
They fought for their own independence and got independent.
That's correct.
And they made the mistake of thinking that since America had just liberated itself from Britain, that they could get some support from America. They were shocked by
They were
the
Cubalized. Cubalized.
by what America joined hands with France to do to them. They put, at the time of their independence, sugarcane from Haiti was actually what France was using to sustain itself. But after that independence, they put an embargo on Haiti and put a fine on them that Haiti was able to pay off just a few decades ago, from 18 something up to probably 2010, when they were able to pay off the debt.
And that was when they now
All
had
through,
Of course, no.
all through that time, they were under serious oppression from US and from France. It is rather unfortunate. US and France wanted to make an example of Haiti, that no slave colony could fight for its own independence.
No, like Cuba.
Gentlemen,
I mean, like
thank
Cuba.
you very much, Raji. Raji, yes, you're vast in these things, very, very, and we appreciate that.
Sorry, let me add something. Let me add something quickly.
Okay.
Yes, you see, not everybody likes to call a spade a spade. And we can see that in the case of Haiti, for example, almost everywhere where you see a black, I don't want to make it a race topic, a racial topic, but it so happens to be a correlation. Just a correlation with every black dominated ex-colonial state and the state of affairs almost so many years ago. It can either mean that we blacks are incapable of managing our resources, as Sir George said, that's just genetically incapable, or there has been a system of oppression, or we have just been making the bad choices. I mean, it cannot be any other option. I mean, if we're going to be logical, and when we try to see that, they've been on that debt burden and for this long, there's been economic pressure, military pressure behind their backyard. There's not much they can do. They are popular people with charisma like Gaddafi, and are removed. And then you're left with weak people, weak vacuum. You leave vacuum, and there's never vacuum in power. And somebody comes and fulfills it. Even the ISIS that came up, the terrorists, it came up because of power vacuum. Once there's a power vacuum, the new leader that everybody respects, immediately a power vacuum, it's filled up by somebody. And now sanctions, a lot of people who are hawks of sanctions, sanction them. You only love it when you're on the other side. But when you're from a side like Haiti, from Cuba, you understand the danger of a unilateral world where a particular party or state can impose a sanction that affects you so badly, and every other person will just look away, not because they really like the sanction, but because they don't want to do anything due to the unipolar state of the world. And also, those people eventually come back as migrants through the southern border and destabilize the local population, take away their job because they are ready to do any kind of job even for free of charge, as long as you give them food to eat and just keep them somewhere, like 10 of them in one room, Wow. So these are the things that we eventually see. Instead of all these sanctions and destroying countries, develop those countries over there so they won't have a reason to come to your country and cause havoc.
And this is what we have always been saying. Yes, you can hear this loud and clear only on SSM News Echoes, Friday, Global World Affairs. Gentlemen, let's go on this small break. We bypassed the time, but we can still do this. We'll be back, viewers. SSM News of all updates today, Friday, Women International Day. See you, women. We're coming to talk about you.
Gem Gang Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get Schengen Story magazine's full editions, celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better, the inside story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle, inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment.
A year ago, I wrote a book titled The Final Solution, and I was trying to say to the rest of the world that there are challenges ahead. Now, a prophecy did come, and that prophecy is coming to pass. But I'm telling you, the final solution has been found many years ago in the Bible, because the Bible simply says righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to the people. So I want you to know that you can get solutions to problems in Ukraine, in Russia, in Nigeria, indeed all parts of the world. We need that solution, and the solution is straightforward. Please get a copy of my book. It's the Final Solution by Bishop Shegun Johnson, and you can find it in Kindle, in Amazon. Just type Bishop Shegun Johnson, The Final Solution. It's very, very small book you can read within 2 hours, but it contains the final solution. Do get a copy. Not getting it is doing disservice to humanity. Don't forget The Final Solution.
Hi there, I'm Mary Keurig, and I am a businesswoman in the United States, but I'm also the Global Content Vice President for the Sub-Saharan Open University in Nigeria. I could not be prouder to work with Dr. Osita Anamika and his team on helping to create not just entrepreneurs and skill-based talent that will get out into the workforce and make a living for themselves, but also young leaders. And to that end, with this integrity-rich university environment that's accredited now, and it's just an amazing opportunity for anyone there of any age to jump on board and learn, we want to let you know about a new offering that we have. We have a global governance and diplomacy course now provided by a whole team of people that crosses several countries to put together these resources and lots of great information for those of you who might be on the path toward public service and diplomatic service, NGO leadership, that sort of thing. We hope that you will walk through this open door and enjoy.
Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back, gentlemen. You are tuning to SSM News Echoes World Affairs. Today, Friday, 8th of March, 2024. And they say it's Women International Day. Before we go to the next news, do you guys want to talk about women? I mean, the female gender is a special gender. The world has been populated. The world has numbers of human beings in it because women could give birth to babies. George, that's the fact.
What I wish, Happy International Women's Day is a day to celebrate the achievements and contributions of women around the world, and to continue to advocate for gender equality and women's rights. They have come a long way. They have come a long way. You know, it used to be like it's a thing in the past when we talk in a women's places in the kitchen. Now we see women prime ministers, great women doing marvelous things around the world, telling us that, you know, what a man can do, a woman can do also. You know,
what
so,
a man
you know,
can do, a woman can do
woman
also.
can also do. That's right.
Nice.
So we just want to wish all the women around the world, you know, happy Women International Day. Enjoy the achievements so far, but the struggle continues, and we'll continue to advocate for, you know, equality, gender equality, you know, and the women's rights, so that everybody can be rubbing shoulders together happily ever after.
Thank you. That was nice. God is a woman's man. Woman's man. Let's hear from another father. And a wife. A man that has a wife. Godwin, are you there? Godwin, is your network?
Yeah, my network is okay. I want to say that a woman is the full circle of life. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform. I want to use the opportunity to wish all females, all women around the world, a happy Women's Day. We believe that there can be no masculinity without femininity, and we believe that that women add so much value to the world. Not the least, at least motivation-wise, economic potential, and also ideas, very smart ideas. So obviously, I push for betterment in the welfare of humanity, especially women as well as by extension men. And I think that together with equality of opportunities, and not outcome, but equality of opportunities, we can continue to maintain that strategic balance that will push us forward. Happy Women's Day.
And you sound very, very well. I mean, today you're sounding so sweet, Godwin. You're putting it out in a very cordial way. Thank you very much. That was nice. Now there is something that needs to be addressed, and that is women are not treated fair enough in Africa. In Nigeria, mainly, like you all know, a lot of women are going through so much in the north of Nigeria, in the south of, in fact, all corners of Nigeria. Raji, you are in Nigeria.
Yes,
how do you feel when you see yesterday Boko Haram guys went to the IDP camp and took away about, I think they said it's about 40 to 50 females, you know. Now, these women will be forced into marriages they never planned for. These women will be forced into sexual activities their brain can't take. I mean, this is not fair. Raji, on International Women's Day, what are you saying?
First and foremost, I celebrate with women on this their special day. My mother is was a woman, so I love women.
I should always be a woman.
And I have three amazing, awesome ladies who are now women in their own right. I appreciate women. And I don't even mind how many times we celebrate women, or how many times they push it down our throat to celebrate them. Because as I see it, almost every Sunday is a modern Sunday. And once in a long while, they give one day for men. Anyway, but talking seriously, I'm really concerned about the ease with which all these bandits are able to get into places and abduct hundreds of people. Just hundreds of people. It is it is quite a shame that as a country we have failed woefully in providing security to those of a group of less privileged, less vulnerable, most vulnerable members of our society. Recently, there was about 230 something children kidnapped from a primary school in Kaduna State. 200 and something. How can that happen? Not 5, not 2, not 3, 200 and something. And one particular incident that still galls me is the case of 100 or so ladies who were abducted from a school in the north. 99 of them were released, leaving one young girl, Leah Sharibu, or whatever her name is now. I was aggrieved, and I'm still aggrieved up to today, that a government could go and negotiate release of 100 people and be able to get the release of 99 of them, because they are of a certain religion, and leave one young lady who is not who was not a Muslim, who is a Christian, and leave her in captivity up to today. And we there's nothing said about it. It is. I don't even know what to describe it. Every now and then I wake up sweating, thinking that if that could happen to Leah Sharibu, it could happen to any woman, and to happen to one of my daughters. And now the case of people, vulnerable situation in IDP camps, displaced from their homelands into IDP camps, and then they are then regularly abused, and they are not given enough protection for them, for 40 of them to be kidnapped by so-called bandits. How is that possible in a sane society? In a sane society, it's an abominable act.
It's an abominable
It's a shameless failure on government to provide simple security to these people.
It's a failure. Yesterday I had that news. Believe me, I almost wept, because what they've just done is they've come to take wives for themselves in a forceful way. And like you said, the IDP camp is a government center. Now the government should also provide security for them. Already in your own country, you're being squeezed to an IDP camp, to a refugee camp. George, how do you see that? Before we go to the next topic, no time. George, how do you feel in our country, citizens of Nigeria are being rendered homeless and thrown into refugee camps? In the Western world, refugee camps are for foreigners that have come, that are still being assimilated into the system. But we find ourselves like this in Nigeria, and nobody is really talking about that, you know? George.
Well,
sorry. Before George comes in, I put up a paper challenging government that there's no reason why there should be IDP camps in the country. That all those people who came from a place that what the government could do. Instead, there was a case of where a church was trying to build permanent buildings for them in the IDP camps. I said, no, that is wrong. What happened to their ancestral homes, ancestral farmlands? These guys don't want to be displaced from their places. Who displaced them? And were they displaced with government sanction or government support? That the decent thing to do is to collapse all these IDP camps, return all these people to their ancestral homelands and farmlands. Most of these people are farmers. If you have a problem with food security in the country today, it stems from that. That there have been a serious war of attrition against these indigenous people by aliens who were brought in for whatever reason, and who have displaced these people from their places, and they are occupying their homelands and their farmlands. Well, it is unquestionable.
It's unconscionable.
All right, George.
Because this is a systemic displacement and genocide that is taking place. And it is being allowed because certain group of people have decided that they want to systemically and progressively take over a particular place because they want to bring in their own people. You see, let's understand something, okay? Most of us, we're Nigerians, but if you go to the northern part of Nigeria and West Africa, there is an oligarchy that is going on in those areas. And these people, they believe, whether they're from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Ivory Coast, from Niger Republic, from Benue Republic, they believe that they are one. So in essence, really, they want to displace this certain group of people from that middle belt to replace them with Muslims. And that is the reason why it is happening. And that is the reason why I believe that Tinubu being the president today must look seriously into that situation, go to the root causes of this thing and stop it. They can. They can. All these things are happening simply because it's coming from the top, not from the bottom. It's coming from the top. We
all
know
these things
that.
are happening.
But like somebody said, no, let's call a spade a spade. This is exactly what is happening. They know what is going on. There was a time when Buhari was allowing the Niger Republic people to cross over because they called them our brother. And that's what you're seeing all over the place. So we need to really take care of our borders and know how to be able to stop this nonsense that is going on. They know what they are doing, and they are allowing it. Go and arrest those people today. In a couple of weeks, they release them and say they have been rehabilitated. Rehabilitated into what?
Rich.
Thank you,
What?
George. George, you and Raji, you're both sounding very strong on this. Gentlemen, viewers, we are talking Women International Day, and we are relating it to the situation in our country, Nigeria, where women are being treated like, I mean, you don't force a woman into marriage. You don't go into an IDP camp and just take all ladies, 40 of them. In fact, the news says 40, but my contact says it's more than 40. It's about 55 of them. Godwin Ibe, you have a daughter. How will you feel your daughter? I mean, let me not use those words. Godwin Ibe, today we're talking Women International Day, but in some part of Africa, women are not treated well. Not even, I mean, let's not talk about the equality thing. I mean, they are not even treated well at all. They're not even treated like a human being in some part of Africa. Godwin Ibe.
First of all, please don't assume things about family or things like that. Yeah. Now, I would like to say that it's very sad, but I want to say that this tactics is not new. It's not new. I mean, it's not new generally. It's an old tactics. And the double standard is appalling. For example, it's happening in Nigeria. You see, I condemn it, we are all condemning. But when it happens in somewhere else, like let's say US, for example, Democrats who support open border policy for no reason. If you go to another country, it depends on what political motive that open border is doing, or the function is performing. Yeah. And then that's when some people will say it's okay or it's not okay. Anybody who supports open border is an enemy to that particular country, because you need to have some semblance of security, some semblance of migration policy, some semblance of the kind of people you want into your country, so that they do not destabilize the local people in that country. And obviously, there are sometimes that tribal links, ethnic links can be stronger, much stronger than national identity. And we see it, for example, with the Arab people. A country sees itself as Morocco, for example, right? That Arab identity will transcend the national identity. And that is a very, very strong tool, strong situation that can be used positively and negatively. In the case of West Africa, we can see that in the Sahel region, the Muslim identity, let me not call it Arab identity, is pretty strong. We can actually use it in a positive way rather than this negative way where our borders are open and the most undesired people are allowed to come in and cause security havoc. So obviously we shouldn't, I support Raju, we shouldn't have IDP camp. What we should have is a strict border policy that vets asylum seekers and allows and gives priority to people who add economic value to the country. And this should be replicated all around the world. And I think that in this case, and they should, people from UK shouldn't be sent to Rwanda and or to other neighboring countries of Africa. You know, these are all double standard that really piss me off. We should be very strict that open border is a problem anywhere it happens. Anywhere it happens.
Thank you.
Whether Italy,
I've just been given signal. I've been giving signal that we can go 10 minutes added to our normal time. So, gentlemen, let's come to some international news. So, ladies, SSM gentlemen are with you on the International Women's Day, and we want favorable conditions for you all. We want you to be treated as human, have the best of life. You only live once on this earth. So enjoy your day too. Thank you, guys. Let's go now to updates from the international news. Dr. Godwin, we had UK has given Ukraine 10,000 drones to fight you guys. Blow up your heads off if possible. So the UK is giving Ukraine drones, and Britain said they will be supplying the drones to aid the fight in Russia invasion. And this was said yesterday by the Defense Secretary, also as he visited Kiev. But we are saying the war should end. George, if they are giving drones and adding more arms to continue this war, is it that some people are benefiting from this and want this to continue to escalate?
Let me just say this. I don't understand why secrecy is part of the strategy of war. So why is it that when weapons are being given to Ukraine, or all of a sudden we are announcing it around the world, or we're going to give 10,000 drones to Ukraine, and then you're telling Russia, 10,000 drones are going to be coming from Ukraine very soon. It's not there yet. It's going to take time.
I'll tell you why.
Now, so hold tight. Russia will now plan themselves, get ready, and then by the time these particular drones arrive, they are more than ready to combat and to stop it. It doesn't even make any sense. If you're giving somebody weapons for war, why are you publicly announcing it and letting the opposition know what you are planning? And most of the time when these announcements are being made, they're not even ready to be shipped. It's going to take several months before these things happen. They're putting Ukraine in a very bad condition. It doesn't make any sense.
Can you guys beat George?
Know exactly
George,
how...
This is intelligent talking. Okay, go ahead, George. Sorry.
These people that are doing these things, they know if they were in position to, or if they were the people at war, they would not allow their secrets to be known. So why are they putting Ukraine in such a dire situation by publicly announcing all this nonsense and talking about we're going to give them 10,000 drones? Russia will get ready for them prior to those drones arriving. It doesn't make any sense.
And the war will continue
of these countries.
Yes, George. Raji, British.
Godwin wanted to say something. Let him say it because he's a Russian.
Yes. Yeah, because, I know he has a lot to say, and George has helped him in what he was going to say. Also, George has
really
okay.
No.
Let's hear from Godwin.
See, Russia produces close to 50,000 drones annually, and that was before surge capacity. Ukraine loses 10,000 drones in a month, just 1 month. It's very sad that the kind of agony that the Ukrainian citizens are really put into. We've seen the change in tone from we're going to defeat Russian military on the field. The change to it's a stalemate. Now it's changing that Ukraine is losing badly, especially due to lack of support or funding. And we can see that corroborated with increasing loss of territories and lives. The symmetry in many parts of Ukraine have doubled or tripled. Zaluzhny asked for mobilization of 500,000 people because of it was not possible, and due to that he was sacked, fired, and now he's been sent as an ambassador of Ukraine to the UK. We see people every day fighting against these mobilizers. In fact, yesterday I watched a video of the local residents on horses fighting against these people who mobilize people in Ukraine. And we see Canada, who is asking for gender equality in demining countries. So we need our mothers and sisters to go in there to now demining bombs. Like, when will this madness and this agony stop? I mean, this is this elimination of the Slavic people. These are Slavic brothers fighting. We should push for their lives are not less important than the Caucasians or the Africans or whatever. We should push for peace negotiation so that these people can sort themselves out. But the way it's going out right now, both people are suffering losses, but the loss is significantly more on the Ukrainian side, and there's just no way they can keep on hiding this.
Yes, Britain says it has committed more than £7 billion of military support to Ukraine since the Russian invasion. Raji, £7 billion is not small money. I mean, £7 billion to kill people, to increase, like Godwin said, increase symmetry in Ukraine. That £7 billion could have done more good to the world's, I mean, a sector of the world's economy than using it to buy drones and all this thing. Raji, what's your take on this? Britain is supplying more drones and is saying, you guys go fight more. Go blow up yourself. Go kill the Russians. Go kill yourself. That's what he's saying indirectly.
When the war started, and I was hearing how the Americans and the NATO forces were encouraging the Ukrainians to go and fight to the last person, to the last man. What's the point of going to fight to the last man? What happens to your country thereafter? I wonder why America, for instance, is always has enough money for war than for peace, than for her own people. More than 200,000 of them who are homeless. For their own veterans who went to war and have come home homeless. I don't understand. Perhaps because I'm an African, I don't have the mind of war. Because you see, it seems as if the Western European and its native allies, the Americans, have always been violent, and wherever they are, they take violence with them. Wherever they are, and it seems as if wherever they go, it's violence. It's violence wherever they go, and they are happier with violence than with bringing peace.
But on another note, gentlemen, listen to this. The Hamas-Israel update we are getting is U.S. have set up a temporary port on the Gaza Strip to supply aid. This was made known last night. Joe Biden announced that the U.S. military will construct a port. Yes. So as much as they're also sending the arms and telling people to kill themselves, they're also providing humanitarian aid to some people.
What is humanitarian? What is humanitarian in that one? When you have caused a war, you have caused a genocide, and then you are now bringing food for the survivors.
What do you have on that? US
listen. There is the point is this: number one, the war in Ukraine is a legitimate war.
Now we've moved to Gaza.
No, I know that. I know. Okay. I'm coming to Gaza. Okay. The war in Ukraine is a legitimate war. If Ukrainians don't want to be annexed by Russians, they ought to fight until the end. Number two, what we are facing today is that a group of people, whether it was caused by past history or whatever the case might be, went into Israel and massacred a lot of people and kidnapped a lot of them that are still being held hostage today. So let's balance the whole equation. I think, we should give peace a chance. But let's not be unbalanced when we're talking about it. I don't like the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu is continuing the war and many people are dying today, of hunger, and then they're not allowing aid to come into that country. America is doing a good job when they're now trying to go there to bring aid to the people. They wanted to drop food from, but people started complaining that it might not reach the right people that were doing what they were supposed to be doing. If they did not go and start killing people and kidnapping people, these millions, thousands of people that are dead today will be alive. So now the question is, does the end justify the means? What are we talking about here? We are all humans. We want peace to reign. But the fact is, if you are able to sit down and negotiate, release all the hostages, let the borders open, and let there be peace. But I believe that where I'm against is Benjamin Netanyahu to continue. Baby is continuing.
Oh, George, your volume just went off. George, we
Yes.
can't hear you again.
We can't hear you,
Now,
George.
is it? No.
All right, gentlemen.
It is rather funny how the narrative is always controlled by the victor, and the vanquished has no voice at all. Because George is talking about massacre on the 7th of October. How many people were killed in? There was no massacre. There was no massacre, and all the beheading that was reported was fake news.
Was
fake news.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was fake news.
Yes. The beheading of children was fake news. The beheading of
Was
children
fake news.
was fake news.
Okay, guys.
The beheading of children was fake news, and the burning and all those things were fake news.
But the attack was real, and we condemned it on air.
That might elongate our timing here. Let's begin to wrap up, guys. One day we're going to come on this. I mean, some people have been saying this. It's fake news. It's this, but I don't believe so, because I mean, you all saw some videos. We all saw videos of people running.
The fake videos.
There was no one video. Those
videos of people running wasn't real. Okay, gentlemen.
Running is different from beheading. Running is different from beheading.
Let's talk about maybe we might not talk much on this because time is out. Sweden has formally, like you all know, Sweden has formally now joined NATO, the military alliance. It's the NATO military alliance, you know. So Sweden becomes official member of the NATO, the 32nd member of NATO military alliance after he completed his accession process in Washington yesterday. So they are happy about this. They're excited, and what that means also is they will now have some what you call advantage against the alliance with Russia, and they will also have some things that will be issued to cover them, to keep them, because NATO protects its members and those that are with them. So I know you all want to say something about this, but we'll come next week to talk about it.
Yes, because the Russian threat is an illusion. It's something out of their warped dreams. There's no threat from Russia.
Okay,
when NATO bombed Yugoslavia when NATO bombed Yugoslavia, Serbia and Yugoslavia, the official reason was that there was ethnic cleansing of Albania. This was the official reason. When Russia invaded Ukraine, the official reason was the ethnic cleansing of Russians in eastern part of Ukraine, which the United Nations confirmed had been going on since 2013. So if the US could do that, why can't Russia?
We're coming on this. There's a topic we would have wanted. In fact, there's a demand for this topic to be addressed, but our time is up. So, guys, we'll make up. We'll reschedule for this. It's on anxiety. Yes. It says that people nowadays are faced with anxiety issues. In fact, the statistics says more than a billion people suffer some form of anxiety or the other. And I'm happy Godwin is here, but the time is off now. Let's do 30 seconds each. Anxiety.
Yes.
Godwin, let me start with you.
George, so we can't hear you for some reason.
George,
let Godwin take on.
Okay, anxiety. Godwin, tell us.
Anxiety has a lot of components, some little genetics, some experience in life and current situation. The first one, the genetic aspect. Yes, if over a period of time you're not faced with a lot of danger, obviously you tend to lose the ability to handle stress and micromanage stress. The personal experience part is the absence of freedom of speech, the removal of every form of bullying, like, you know, the absence of a father figure and a big brother figure in the family that can tell you the truth straight to your face and correct you where you're wrong. The removal of this is creating more demasculinized men and people who don't like to
All right.
Was said, and the intonation, and obviously, of course, the reduction in standard of living and the wars that are going on around the world affecting the socioeconomic status of people and causing unpredictability about the future. So it can cause increase in anxiety, which we can see today. Yes.
Thank you very much. Raji, you have any anxiety?
Yes, uncertainty in any person's situation will cause some level of anxiety. And Gordon has put it very, very well. Uncertainty.
George, you have anything to say on anxiety? Oh dear,
we
George,
we
can't hear you. Okay, guys, thank you all so much. Viewers, let's take note that the holy month of Ramadan begins on Monday, March 11, or Tuesday, depending on the sighting of the new moon. So the fasting, the dawn to dusk fasting will begin, and we say let all our prayers be heard as the Muslims go into the Ramadan season. It's a time of peace also, so let's use this time to stop all these agitations, wars, and conflicts, and let's all be at peace with ourselves as we all fast and seek the face of our Creator. Raji,
I've been rehearsing for the fasting for a long time. I've been doing intermittent fasting where I eat probably once a day, and I think I've rehearsed well enough, and I'm ready for the fasting.
Nice, that's a good one. Thank you very much, Godwin. I know a lot of discussion is still going on all our platform. Viewers, take note of this. We're on all handles more. We're adding more handles. Rumble, we're adding more handles. We're on Twitch, we're on Rumble, we're on Hulu. A lot of networks are taking us through, and Godwin is doing a great job also connecting and discussing, putting out good insights to viewers in those various handles. So we'll come your way on Monday when we'll be doing our Between the Lines program. Have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy yourself, and please don't get anxious. Be anxious over nothing, the Bible says. Don't let anxiety override you. God bless you.
Hallelujah.
God bless you. Hallelujah. We come your way again.
Have a nice weekend.